Probably the last time it was this close to the sun was long before human civilization.
How would we find out the comet's velocity and orbit, Professor Mindy?
A graduate student at Michigan State University was scanning deep space using the Subaru astronomical telescope when she suddenly noticed something shocking. A massive object was racing through space at an incredible speed, heading in an unknown direction. It was a gigantic comet, and this discovery would soon be called one of the greatest astronomical findings of the century. The credit for this discovery was about to go to Kate. When the news reached her professor, Dr. Randall Mindy, he was overjoyed. He celebrated Kate's achievement along with the other students, and the comet was officially named after her, Comet Dibiasky. During the celebration, the students began asking questions. How big was the comet? How fast was it moving? And most importantly, where was it headed? Randall began running calculations, but the moment the results appeared, his excitement turned into pure terror.
You know what, guys? Let's call it a night, huh?
He immediately sent the other students home and privately told Kate the truth. The comet was nearly 9 kilometers wide and was traveling at around 25,000 miles per hour, straight toward Earth. There was no uncertainty. It was going to hit the planet. If it collided with Earth, the destruction would be so massive that all life on the planet would be completely wiped out. The most horrifying part was the timeline.
I've been running it all day. I keep getting the same result, a direct hit of Earth in 6 months and 14 days.
The comet was only 6 months and 14 days away from impact. Kate was shaken to her core. Without wasting a second, she contacted the head of NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office, Dr. Teddy Oglethorpe, and shared all the data. Understanding the seriousness of the situation, Teddy immediately arranged a flight and brought Randall and Kate to Washington, D.C. together. They went straight to the White House to warn the president. They informed the president's staff and waited outside the Oval Office, expecting urgency. Instead, they were shocked to learn that the President of the United States, Janie Orlean, was showing no concern at all. She was busy with a birthday celebration and political strategy meetings. Randall, Kate, and Teddy waited for hours, but eventually the president's son, Jason Orlean, who also happened to be her chief of staff, told them to come back the next day. Frustrated and angry, they left. After a long delay, they were finally called into the Oval Office. Jason was present as well. Nervous but determined, Randall and Kate explained everything.
What Dr. Mindy is trying to say is that there's a comet headed directly towards Earth.
They told the president that in exactly 6 months and 14 days, the comet would strike Earth with the force of millions of nuclear bombs. Massive earthquakes, global tsunamis, and total planetary extinction were guaranteed. But even after hearing that the world was about to end, President Orlean reacted as if she were being briefed on inflation or unemployment statistics. Calmly, she asked Randall what the percentage chance of impact was.
So how certain is this?
There's 100%.
Randall answered honestly, 100%. Still, the president seemed more concerned about her political future than the fate of humanity. With elections approaching, she said they could not tell the public that everyone would be dead in 6 months. It would destroy her party's chances.
When are the midterms?
3 weeks.
If this breaks before then, we lose Congress, and then there's nothing we can do about it anyway.
She ordered them to keep the information secret until after the election. Only then would she consider taking action. Kate, Randall, and Teddy were stunned. Randall tried to argue that they still had time. They could launch nuclear warheads to destroy the comet or at least alter its trajectory. Any delay could be fatal. But President Orlean refused to listen. Completely defeated, they walked out of the White House in disbelief. Realizing the government would not act, Kate and Randall decided they had to warn the public themselves. They turned to the media. Kate's boyfriend, Philip, was a journalist and helped arrange a meeting with reporters and editors at a major newspaper, the New York Herald. Randall and Kate explained everything, including how the president was hiding the truth to protect her political career. The journalists were shocked but intrigued. They invited Randall and Kate onto a massively popular morning show called The Daily Rip, hosted by 2 cheerful and sarcastic anchors. The show was watched worldwide. The next day, Randall and Kate arrived at the studio, but before bringing them on, the hosts spent a long time interviewing a world-famous pop star, Riley Bina. Her recent breakup with her boyfriend DJ Cello was trending everywhere, and the network prioritized ratings over reality. The end of the world could wait. After a long delay, Randall and Kate were finally introduced. They explained that in just 6 months, a massive comet would destroy Earth. Instead of reacting with fear, the hosts laughed. They mocked the scientists on live television, joking that they needed psychiatric help. That was the breaking point for Kate. She completely lost control and shouted at the audience, saying this was not a joke. A comet really was coming, and if nothing was done, every living being on Earth would die.
The destruction of the entire planet isn't supposed to be fun.
Overwhelmed, she stormed off the set in tears. Still, no one believed them. The hosts brushed it off as a prank. Later, ratings data showed that viewers were far more interested in Riley Bina's breakup than the extinction of humanity. Kate became a viral meme, ridiculed across the internet. The humiliation destroyed her reputation, and even her boyfriend broke up with her. Time passed. Meanwhile, President Orlean became involved in a massive scandal when an explicit photo of her was leaked online. Her popularity collapsed, and it seemed certain she would lose the election. Around the same time, FBI agents arrested Randall, Kate, and Teddy for leaking classified information. Instead of taking them to prison, the agents brought them back to the White House. President Orlean summoned them and announced that her top scientists had reviewed the comet data and confirmed it was real. Kate immediately called her out, accusing her of only acting now because the scandal had ruined her election chances. She said Orlean was using the apocalypse for political gain. Shockingly, the president openly agreed. But Randall and Kate didn't care anymore, as long as the planet could be saved. President Orlean addressed the world in an emergency broadcast, announcing that a comet would destroy Earth in 5 months. She assured everyone that a solution was ready. Nuclear-armed rockets would be launched to destroy the comet in space. To gain public sympathy, she turned the mission into a heroic sacrifice and appointed General Benedict to lead it, portraying him as a man ready to give his life for humanity. She publicly credited Randall, Kate, and Teddy for saving the world. Her popularity skyrocketed, and she won the election by a landslide. Launch day arrived. The world watched in silence as multiple rockets blasted into space. Scientists estimated an 81% chance of success. People celebrated. Randall and Kate felt hopeful for the first time. Then, tech billionaire Peter Isherwell arrived at the White House. He was the founder of Bash Mobile, a powerful tech corporation and the president's biggest donor. Moments later, the countdown finished and the rockets launched successfully. But just before leaving Earth's orbit, every rocket suddenly deployed parachutes and returned to Earth. The mission was aborted. Soon after, Randall was summoned to a secret meeting and promoted to White House Chief Science Advisor. Inside the room, Isherwell revealed the truth. The comet contained trillions of dollars worth of rare minerals essential for modern technology. Instead of destroying it, his plan was to break it into smaller pieces, mine it, and make unimaginable profit. He proposed using advanced drones to plant explosives inside the comet, fragment it safely, and drop the pieces into the Pacific Ocean for recovery. It was an insanely risky plan. One mistake could wipe out Earth. Kate was furious. She accused them of gambling with humanity for corporate profits. But Randall, slowly corrupted by power and influence, began supporting the plan. Kate exposed the truth publicly once again, triggering riots and panic. She was arrested, silenced, and abandoned, even by her own parents, who believed the president's lies about jobs and wealth. As the world blindly trusted power and profit, the fate of Earth moved closer to disaster. This plan was no longer about science. Humanity had been placed entirely in the hands of technology. Anyone who questioned the mission or raised scientific concerns had already been fired. Because of that, Randall directly challenged Isherwell and said that as the White House Chief Science Advisor, he wanted this mission to be scientifically proven first. He told him not to treat this as a business deal. Isherwell became irritated. He shut Randall down and said this was not a business, but the future itself. He claimed Randall had no idea how powerful his technology and algorithms were. According to him, his systems could predict the future of any human being with 96.5% accuracy. He asked Randall if he wanted to know how he would die. Isherwell said his prediction showed Randall would not die in a dramatic way, but in a boring and meaningless manner, and he would die completely alone. He added that this was not just Randall's future. His technology could predict the fate of anyone in the world. He warned Randall never to question his technology again. That moment made everything clear to Randall. He finally understood that Isherwell and President Orlean were willing to burn the world for their own benefit. The mission was being executed without proper scientific testing, which made it nothing more than a gamble. By now, only 25 days remained before the comet reached Earth. During this time, Randall was invited once again to a television interview. By now, most media outlets were under government influence and were treating the comet like entertainment instead of a real threat. Even the film industry took advantage of the situation and announced a movie based on the comet, scheduled to be released on the same day Earth was supposed to be hit. To the public, the comet had become a joke. On the show, the host asked Randall whether the comet was even real. Randall completely lost his composure. On live television, he shouted the truth to the entire world, saying that everyone was about to die. Still, no one believed him. Instead, the White House fired him immediately after the broadcast. Meanwhile, Kate had completely withdrawn from society and was living on the streets. There, she met a man named Yule, who became her companion. Kate already believed the world was going to end, so she chose to spend her remaining time with him. One night, she noticed a bright object in the sky. It was the comet, now close enough to be seen with the naked eye. As the threat became visible, fear finally started spreading among people. Randall and Kate reunited and began telling everyone that this was the same comet that would end life on Earth.
It's real and it's coming.
Along with Teddy, they launched a public movement called Just Look Up, urging people to simply look at the sky and take the danger seriously so pressure could be placed on the government. Several public figures joined the movement. Pop star Riley Bina and DJ Cello even released a song supporting the Just Look Up campaign. At the same time, President Orlean began pushing the opposite narrative. She accused Randall and Kate of spreading fear and misinformation. She publicly claimed that the comet would not hit Earth and encouraged people to don't look up. This divided society. Those who believed the comet would destroy Earth supported the Just Look Up movement. Those who trusted the president supported Don't Look Up. Social media became a battleground. Randall, Kate, and Teddy realized there was nothing more they could do domestically. Their last hope was other countries. Since Orlean and Isherwell had refused to share the comet's mineral profits, countries like Russia, India, and China launched their own joint mission to destroy the comet. Unfortunately, their rocket was rushed and exploded before leaving Earth. With that failure, the last real hope was gone. Now the comet was extremely close. When people could clearly see it in the sky, the truth finally became undeniable. The public realized they had been lied to all along. But it was too late. Only hours remained before impact, and stopping it was no longer possible. With no other option, the world began praying for Isherwell's mission to succeed. Randall, Kate, Yule, and Teddy gathered at Randall's home with his family. Randall had no faith in Isherwell's plan. He wanted to spend his final moments with the people he loved, sharing a quiet dinner together. At the same time, President Orlean and Isherwell prepared for the final phase of their mission. The entire world watched the sky. During a casual moment, Orlean jokingly reminded Isherwell that he had terrified Randall by predicting his death. She then asked how she herself would die. Isherwell said she would be eaten by a Bronteroc. Confused, Orlean asked what that was. Isherwell admitted he didn't know, but his algorithms insisted on it. The launch began. 30 drones were sent toward the comet. 4 crashed immediately after launch, but Isherwell claimed they were backups. As the drones reached the comet's surface, 2 more were destroyed during landing. Still, Isherwell insisted that the remaining drones were sufficient. The drones began drilling into the comet to place explosives. Suddenly, a massive explosion occurred. All contact with the drones was lost. In that moment, Isherwell realized the mission had failed. The end of the world was now certain. Isherwell and Orlean quietly escaped the control room under the excuse of using the bathroom. Soon after, news of the mission's failure spread worldwide. Riots broke out everywhere as people rushed to be with their families in their final moments. While the world collapsed into chaos, Randall sat at the dinner table with his family and friends, sharing their last moments together. During dinner, Orlean called Randall and admitted she had always known the mission would fail. She revealed that a spacecraft had already been built to escape Earth. It could carry 2,000 people. She offered Randall a seat. Randall refused. He said dying with his family was better than living like a coward. Before hanging up, he sarcastically told her to enjoy herself with her son, Jason. Only then did Orlean realize she had forgotten to bring Jason with her. Jason was still waiting in the control room for her to return. Moments later, the comet struck Earth. The impact was so powerful that the entire planet was destroyed instantly. Earth's debris scattered into space. All life was wiped out. At the same time, a spacecraft escaped Earth. It belonged to Isherwell. Inside were Isherwell, Orlean, and other wealthy elites. The ship was designed to locate an Earth-like planet automatically. All passengers entered deep sleep pods capable of sustaining them for thousands of years. After a journey lasting over 22,700 years, the ship found a habitable planet and deployed landing shuttles. Many crashed, killing everyone aboard, but a few landed safely. The survivors emerged and celebrated the lush, green world they had reached. Among them were Isherwell and Orlean. As they explored, they noticed a strange and beautiful creature. Orlean approached it, trying to touch it. Suddenly, the creature attacked her, killing and devouring her. Isherwell's prediction had come true. The creature was a Bronterok. More of the creatures appeared, hunting the survivors. One by one, Isherwell and the remaining elites were killed. In the end, greed had completed the extinction of humanity. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more amazing recaps.